Well, I'll make it 1,816 because I agree with her 100%. My name is Martin Hyde. Here we are, last meeting for just over a month. Perhaps a good point to reflect on the year so far. The biggest issue settled just last week was one in the eye for city taxpayers when you managed to cobble together 3 votes to increase the city's expenses for 2018 by a whopping, let's say it quietly, 13.3%. This was deemed, and I quote, reasonable by our mayor and vice mayor, which reminded me of President Clinton's famous statement about what the meaning of is. Double entendre word games aside, we've had the Bobby Jones saga to keep us awake at nights, which at the last meeting the vice mayor took exception to the suggestion by a commissioner of the proverbial can having been kicked down the road on that subject, which to my mind it undeniably has. Nobody will face the basic question of just exactly where north of $15 million would come from to revitalize a course for a dwindling number of participants. It's not Bobby Jones that's in decline alone, but the game of golf generally, according to all published statistics. Making it a nicer course will do nothing to arrest the loss of interest in the game. Things change. Sears was the #1 retailer in the US, but isn't now. Toys R Us and Blockbuster were everywhere, but now there are none. And the same change in habit is affecting golf. Talking of can kicking, not a single budget meeting has discussed in any detail the pension deficit or the urgent need to have meaningful negotiations with the police union on future entitlements for new recruits. The form-based code has been relegated to next year's agenda, despite it being promoted as the linchpin of this year's agenda. The Bayfront plans that have been much discussed and would indeed be exciting, except for one teeny tiny little problem, which is that nothing specific has been said about exactly where the money would come from. We have a $50 million lawsuit judgment pending against us and other fiscal time bombs potentially set to explode in the coming months, as well as the November ballot on changing the date of our elections. It's somewhat ironic that the price of victory for the naysayers on the commission to moving the date will be to have to face the electorate themselves this coming March. I'd leave you to ponder, during this summer recess, a reminder on this subject, that only Commissioner Brody got more than 1/7 of registered voters to vote for him. Others of you got demonstrably less than 1/7, meaning 6 out of 7 didn't vote for you. And all of you should be cognizant of that when increasing our taxes for the 5th year in a row. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on.